Ever wanted a photo where you can't see where the sky ends and the sea begins? In this tutorial, I'll show you the Affinity photo method for removing the horizon entirely. It's a subtle change, but it can transform an average scene into something that feels like fine art. I've had a lot of people ask me how to do this using Affinity Photo. If you want to follow along, I'll put a copy of this image on the website and include a link to it in the YouTube video description. The method I'll be sharing works well for both colour and black and white images. You'll see exactly how to blend the horizon out of a scene so it vanishes, and I'll be sharing some tricks to make it look entirely natural. Here's the starting image open in Affinity Photo's Photo Persona. You can see there's a clear horizon where the sea meets the sky. The first thing that we need to do is add a fill layer to the image. Go to the Layer menu and choose the New Fill Layer option. When it appears, the layer covers the whole photo. We'll hide it for now because we first need to sample a colour from the image to use it as the background. Our goal is to make the sky the same colour as the sea on the horizon or vice versa. That way, they merge seamlessly into each other. With the fill layer selected, click the colour swatch in the toolbar. Choose the Colour Picker tool, then drag it over an area of the image that you want to sample. I find that it's best to take the sample from the sea or the sky near to the horizon. Which of these will work best really does depend on the image though, so you may need to experiment. For this example, I'll sample the sky. When you've done that, turn the fill layer back on so that we can see it again. Right now the fill layer is covering everything, but we only want it to affect the sky. To achieve this, we'll use a graduated mask on the layer. The graduate is what allows the sea and sky to blend together seamlessly. First, reduce the fill layer's opacity to about 50%. That makes it easier to see the horizon while we add the gradient. Now select the gradient tool from the tools palette on the left of the interface. We're going to use this to draw a selection using the Quick Mask mode. Turn on the Quick Mask mode by clicking the icon in the toolbar. This covers the entire image in a red overlay. To add the gradient, click once on the horizon and drag down. As you drag, you'll see the gradient being drawn. Don't worry if it's not in the perfect position. You can click and drag the points to reposition them afterwards. You can also move the midpoint to fine-tune the blend. You should now see no overlay on the sky, but a solid red overlay over the lower part of the image. You can then turn off the Quick Mask mode, which converts the gradient to a selection. You should then see the sky is selected, including an area of the sea. With the fill layer selected in the Layer Studio panel, hold down the Option key on a Mac or Alt key on a Windows PC. Then click the mask icon at the bottom of the Layers panel. This displays a small pop-up menu where you can choose the Compound Mask option. This converts the selection we've created into a mask attached to the fill layer. I'll explain why we're using a compound mask shortly. You can then clear your selection by pressing Command and D on a Mac or Control and D on a Windows PC. The sky and sea should now blend smoothly into each other so there isn't a defined horizon. However, we now have a problem with the statue in the image, which is partly covered by the fill layer. To fix this, first hide the fill layer so you can see the original image clearly. We can now choose the Object Selection tool from the Tools palette. Move the mouse over the objects in the scene and you should see them highlighted. You can then click once to select the statue. Now turn the fill layer back on and click to select it. Hold down the Option or Alt key again and click the mask icon. As before, choose the Compound Mask option from the menu. You'll notice this now hides the fill layer everywhere except for the statue, which is the opposite of what we want. To fix this, right-click the mask and choose Invert Mask in the menu. We can then clear the selection by pressing Command and D on a Mac or Control and D on a Windows PC. Now to the point of the compound masks. These work like regular masks, except when we add two or more to the same layer, they combine to create the new mask. This allows us to build up our mask in stages on this image. At this point in the editing, the horizon is gone and the sky isn't affecting the statue. We could leave the example there, but there are some additional tricks that we can use to improve the results. One of the great things about the fill layer is that you can continue to change its colour. Just click the fill layer and then click the colour swatch to adjust the colour. Use this to fine-tune the transition between the sea and sky so it looks completely natural. Another thing we can do is add a bit of atmosphere to the scene, as a perfectly clear blue sky can look a bit flat and boring. To add some atmosphere, I'm going to use a mist overlay. It's part of a pack of atmospheric effects I purchased from the Affinity Photo website. I'll open the Asset panel and go to the JR Fog and Mist category. I'll then choose one of the Mist section overlays and drag it onto the image. I can then resize, rotate and position it to produce a nice blend and add some texture to the sky. Now, because the mist layer is covering the statue, I need to create a mask again to hide it. The easy way to do this is right-click on the mask attached to the fill layer and choose to duplicate it. I can then drag that into position on the mist layer. This technique also works beautifully for black and white if you prefer. I see a lot of fine art photographers using it. Let's add a black and white adjustment layer to this image. Then adjust the colour sliders to get a tonal balance that looks good. If you do decide to convert your image to black and white like this, it's worth revisiting the fill layer colours to ensure the blend still looks perfect. So, to quickly recap the steps, we've sampled a colour from the horizon area, used a fill layer with a gradient mask to merge the sky and sea, protected key foreground elements using the compound mask, adjusted the fill layer colour for a natural look, added atmospheric overlays for extra mood, and potentially converted to a black and white image. This is a simple technique, but it can completely change the mood of a photograph. It works especially well for a minimalist and fine art style, and it's easy to adapt for different images once you know the steps. But there is a problem that I know some of you will have, because you can't use the AI object selection tool as I did. In that case, watch this video next where I explain how to create a precise selection using only the basic tools in Affinity Photo. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also my website. I'll include a link in the video description. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you soon for another video.